So we should have a look at the graphic EQs, I think, because we haven't had a look at them yet. I haven't built any of them yet, so I wanted to show you a quick trick that I discovered making these. If you recall way back in this series, I will have shown you a rough design that I made, and the graphics were all over the place in terms of lining up on each page. They just weren't lining up. So I've got a trick to line them all up on the same orientation on each subsequent page, which is a good thing to look for. So first things first, I'm going to grab this, just this group box here from layer 1. I'm going to go to the main EQ page, which of course is completely blank, and that's fine. We're on layer 1. Let's fill up the back with our background. Whoops. Nice and so. I'm going to lock that, of course, and add a layer. That's a good thing to do. And the first thing I'm going to grab actually is from here is all of these are the main EQ, because this is going to go on the main EQ page. So we don't need to navigate to the page we're on. So I'm going to paste these here. And then I'm going to do a stack like that. Okay, now a good thing to do is, where are we? Where that main page is, let's grab that position. To do that, and we're going to put that in that position. Okay, good. So now we can pull this down and bring them in line. So we want to start there, of course. Of course, this does mean, because I've copied and pasted, that I have to go back to the main page and grab that group box again. So I'm just going to paste that here as well, because what I want to get happening with this is a general outline of the graphic EQ that sits away from those navigation pages. And then if we've got that, we can then copy that and we can actually go to the next EQ page, like delays EQ. Do a similar thing. That. Paste. Now, of course, we go to our main EQ, get the position. Exactly the same position, and now that's going to follow a template that we can use to guide the rest of our building of our graphic EQ, because what we need to do now, of course, is go and get our graphic EQ bits and pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually lock this group box so it doesn't get moved around anymore, and I can select around it without selecting it. This is a nice way of working. So you can just lock a particular element. I'm going to do that here, because now I go to the system, and of course this is the main EQ, which is this one before the stereo crossover. So I want to grab these. Okay, so the graphic EQ comes up. And I suggest grabbing 500 down in one lot, copying that, pasting that. Now, of course, before we move on, we should probably fix a couple of things up. The first thing, we don't need these bypass buttons, so we can just delete them. All these text boxes here need to have a different stroke color. It's still grey. And a different text color. So that's a starting point, and we can probably put that on. Yes. Yes. Good. Now I'll go back here and move along. I'm going to get 16K down to 630. Now it's a 31 band, so we're not going to be completely even, which is less than ideal. However, we will persevere. I'm going to put it down here so we can do the text box thing again. Okay, good. Buttons are gone. Do the text boxy thing. That's what I was trying to do before. Good. Now I'll put that down the bottom. Green stars when you get it exactly lined up. Again, and there they are. So now we have them in a nice big lot. Taking out to the edges of the group box. And again, should get a very relatively even little fader. Now the other good thing, of course, is because I locked that group box, I can now select the faders and change their fill color to whatever I like. In this case, that, or I think that. No, definitely not that. What was I doing before? That can be alright, I suppose. Perhaps that. There we go. Now we can see what's going on. Good. There are other customizations you can do to your faders as well. I'll just very quickly run you through them. If you change the fader style from classic to custom, you can do little things like, just watch I'll do all the faders actually, so you can see it working. Turn them all into customs. Let's do a cap radius, so that's the roundness of the cap, at 0.05, and now we've got kind of flatter looking faders, which kind of looks nice. Anyway, enough mucking around. Let's see if proof of concept. I'm going to now go to the delays EQ, layer 2, and see if the same thing works on that graphic. Obviously, we can't just use the same graphic because we're actually looking at a completely different graphic, which is this one. And again, we will do our 500, 16. There we are. Paste. So it seems to be lagging. All right. Going to grab, of course, these little buttons. Get rid of them. Text box thingy. Good. And now I will put this down here. Green arrows. Good. Actually, I forgot to do stroke. stroke width of 1. Just a little box around them. Okay, makes it a little easier to. Let's go back and do the other ones. All right, good. And 16, 630. Paste. Little bypass buttons. As useful as they can be. Okay, so we want to do it's good and a stroke width of 1. Let's put that down the bottom here. Line these all up. Little green stars, very good. Now if we select them all, we should be able to just bring them out to the corners. Our group box, 2 moves. Very good. Let's do our faders. Make them the same. Hope you've gotten something other than faders. Because I didn't lock this, of course. Lock that group box, man. Thank you. All right, good. You see why the group box was important to get happening. Good. Oh, whoops. I should have kept them selected. Custom. Cap radius of 5. All right, let us now flick between the two delays and main to see if they look the same, and they do. Isn't that wonderful? So now, of course, we can grab these, but not the delays EQ because that's the page we're putting on. We can copy that. We can try and guess where to go. Perhaps there. We'll soon find out. Now this is where it gets a little bit painful because we now have to line up all of the positions, and you kind of have to do that individually, which is a bit of a shame. What I need, of course, is a button for the main EQ as well. So copy that. Head down to delays EQ, and I need that as well. Paste. All right, so let's, of course, get our position. Page, position, just kind of got to get into a rhythm with all this mucking about. Paste. Okay, so now main page is in the right spot. We'd have to go back and do that for all of these individual buttons, which is just painful, and I certainly won't put you through that in this video. So rinse and repeat for all of the other EQs, and you have your complete system. And of course, because these are logged into what we set up in our system, these will do the EQ of those pages. Just good. I'm just going to flick back again. There's the main EQ. There's the delays EQ. You'll see the buttons being out of position actually draws the eye that the others are out of position. But if you keep your eye on the fader and the box around it, you'll see they are identical between the two pages. That's using the positioning and the copy paste. So I hope that's helpful in setting up your EQs in your UCI. I will return with another video where I have gone a little bit further with this UCI, and I'm going to just show you where you can get to and introduce you to CSS style sheets and show you what the power of that as well. As a concept we haven't discussed yet, but there's a way you can formalize and customize the complete look of your UCI through what's called a CSS style sheet, which is a text-based programming situation, but you can get them and import them in, and I've done that from someone in Melbourne, and the result was pretty good. So I'll come back with that video at some point. Thanks for watching this one. Good luck with the rest of your UCI. Thank you.